This is waiting.
Yep,
Okay.
that makes sense. It should flip to live in a moment here. I'm gonna re-loop the gameplay because it's probably close to the end of it now actually. If I do that, that should fix it.
Okay, yep.
We are live. We are good. Everyone talk just so we can check the audio.
Yep.
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 Kevin
Test.
test.
Yep.
Kevin
Yep.
test. And I sound like a fucking dink.
You sound like a dink.
Yeah, I hate how I sound too.
I
What
guess
do you
I
mean?
shouldn't swear.
It's fine.
It's not a swear.
Can't believe you'd say that, Kevin. Wow. Thanks, bud. Thanks. I gotta change my input volume. a little
No,
bit.
we're never gonna get sponsored by G Fuel.
What if they're like, these guys are so different and vulgar? It just might work.
What?
They'll appeal to the kids.
We've been trying all these beautiful women, but we'll just pick these guys instead.
These four ugly chuds.
All right.
Let's
Well,
save
I
these
think we're good
Sound
then.
kinda quiet.
So let's yeah, I'll make you guys a little louder too. That should help.
I boosted my mic a hair too.
Yeah, we should be good. I think the audio levels are where they are used to. So let's get the show on the road. Welcome everyone to Follow My Tracers. We're back after a holiday break. We are live on YouTube, of course. I'm one of your hosts, Figure9, aka Tony, and today I'm joined, as always, by Jim, aka Power Grudge. Jim, how you doing, man?
Good. I had a good holiday. Really happy to be back doing the show though.
Yeah, it felt like a long 2 weeks. We were getting used to doing the show every week, so yeah, it was kind of weird to take a 2 week break, but here we are. We're also always joined by Harles. Harley, what's going on, man?
Yo, it's going good.
Good. And you'll notice another name up here. Special guest, friend of the show, Falling Cactus, aka Kevin. Welcome to the show, man. How you doing?
AKA Longfellow, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
And
Longfellow.
Supperfish.
Yeah, and Subberfish in the chat. Usually I'm just talking about Halo.
And then depending on what
What?
Twitch username he remembers, he could be one of 6 people on Twitch as well. So
It's more so how I'm watching Twitch, not necessarily like me switching accounts. But
I just see you like just forgetting your username and passwords for everything, and then too lazy to reset, so you just make a new account and you just go from there.
easier just to make a Yahoo account and then give her.
Yeah. Well, good stuff. Welcome to the show, man. Thanks for being here. We meant to have you on a few weeks ago, so this is nice. But let's get into it. So we'll just throw a softball here. What's everyone been playing these last few weeks over the break, and this week, Jim, we'll start with you.
I haven't been playing a whole lot of new stuff. I picked up some stuff on the holiday sale on the Epic Games launcher, but I haven't really played anything yet. But I did pick up Far Cry 2 for $2.99 last night, so I might start that soon.
Nice.
Just because I don't know, the Xbox version's not the greatest performance wise. It's fine. Don't get me wrong, but I kind of wanted to play it like the way I kind of thought I saw it, like when it first came out. So I mean, every Far Cry game's on sale right now too on Epic, so it's a nice start. But no, I've been playing more Cyberpunk, which I'll get into my opinion of it now that I've had a lot more time with it later. But other than that, dabbling in just stuff here and there. I'm going to start playing Rage, because I gave up on playing Republic Commando, because I don't know. I feel like I can't remember if I mentioned if I started it a couple weeks ago or not, but I started playing it because I want to get through all these old Star Wars games because I'm reading like the new canon books. I'm reading all those, but I'm also starting to read a lot of the old canon books now. So I'm like, well, I want to start getting into these games too because these had good stories as well. But I don't know. I can't get past some of the gameplay, and like Republic Commando is a good game. Just I don't like the shooting all that much, so that kind of deterred me from playing it. So I'll just watch someone else play it.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, so that's pretty well it. Mostly Cyberpunk, to be honest. That's the gist of it.
Cool. It's very different from me. I haven't touched Cyberpunk in a while. But Harley, what have you been doing?
Same old for me. Just playing Call of Duty, a Cold
Yeah.
War and Warzone, pretty much.
Yeah, we played quite a bit of Cold War, or not Cold War, sorry, Warzone. The 4 of us over the break. That was a good time. We had a lot of fun
Yeah.
with that. So,
Tiny a bit of Fortnite, and then a little bit of Halo 5.
Halo 5. Have you
Yeah,
been
I
playing the
forgot
multiplayer
about
or?
that.
Yeah. Well, we did the co-op
Yeah,
campaign.
yeah. I was wondering if you played any multiplayer aside from that, or if it was just the.
Oh no.
No.
Oh, I haven't touched it. I haven't touched it after. Finding all the intel and skulls kind of just. I was just kind of happy to.
Yeah, I guess that was at the beginning of the break. I don't even remember that. Like, long ago.
It's okay. We beat the game together. I still really couldn't tell you what happened, so that's good.
Yeah, that's
John is mean. That's the gist.
that's the gist of it. That's Halo 5. But Kevin, what have you been doing, man?
My wife for Christmas got me a HOTAS flight stick, so it stands for hands-on throttle and stick. So I've just been playing a lot of Elite Dangerous. I used to really enjoy it just playing with the controller, but now with the stick, it's just, I don't know, all the grinding just is fun because I'm able to just fiddle around with these two little inputs. So yeah, that's about it. And then
game.
you guys, but
Super jelly.
Yeah, it's probably
Pretty
so
fun.
cool.
I want that for Squadrons so badly.
Imagine getting that hooked up with like a VR headset on top of that.
yeah, Elite
Oh my
Dangerous with
God.
VR, man, that'd be crazy.
It'd be nuts.
Pretty sweet.
Be like too
That
real.
would be elite and dangerous.
Just like the show. But I guess in terms of what I've been playing, I've been playing a lot of World of Warcraft. I recently got back into that game, playing Shadowlands, the most recent expansion. I've put like I think close to 3 days on this character already, which is nuts. It's crazy how time stacks up when you play a couple hours every day over 2 weeks, especially when you've been streaming it a lot. So I streamed it a lot too on my channel, but I've been having a good time with that, a very good time with that. So I continue to pump some time into that almost every single day, whether it's just an hour or two here or there. Other than that, I've been playing DBZ Kakarot still, just slowly going through that game, milking it for all it's worth. I really, really like it. So I'm doing all the side stuff and just enjoying the open world and leveling up all the characters. It's been a good time. I just completed the Cell arc with the amazing father-son Kamehameha scene. Man, it's the coolest thing about that game is that it follows the anime to like a T. Like it's basically like you're playing the show, which is
That's pretty
awesome.
cool.
Yeah, and like the games and the visuals are finally to a point where like it doesn't look like some like knockoff of the anime. Like it actually looks like it, which is awesome. They did a really good job with it, so I'm thoroughly enjoying that. But that's what I've been doing. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of the show. But before we do, just a reminder for everyone here watching live on YouTube that you can ask questions in the chat and interact with us, and we're gonna do our best to respond live during the show. Bunny Tail already typed a woo. Hello, Bunny. And for anyone watching the VOD later on YouTube, you guys can comment, and we're gonna do our best to answer your questions next episode next week. So let's jump into the unsponsored Fuel Up with G Fuel section. I haven't had any yet today, but have you guys had any G Fuel yet today? Jim, Harley?
I'm drinking it
I
right now.
have grape right next to me.
Oh, grape.
I haven't mixed it yet.
Oh, not the
Just
sour
waiting
one, just
until
the
we
normal one, right?
start Gaming. Oh, that one's gone, dude. It's
I should
been
frame it.
vaulted.
It's an
And
antique.
you can't get
now.
it again. Yeah, you gotta save it.
Vaulted.
It's like the Disney
Can
Vault.
never finish that tub. Yeah,
I'm
it's-
drinking Rainbow
unless they
Sherbet,
bring
though.
it back.
Rainbow
Rainbow
Sherbet
Sherbet.
is slowly becoming. I don't know if it's my favorite yet, but I think watermelon's still my favorite. But it's definitely second or third.
It's Tubworth.
Oh, it's Tubworth. Staring at the tub right now.
I like that adjective to describe it, Tubworth. That's good.
Tubworth.
I'm probably gonna have some more Shiny Splash tonight. I've been having that a lot because the other two tubs I had, I obviously had a lot before I got this other tub, so I'm trying to work it down so it's at the same level as the other ones, and that way, then I can just kind of evenly spread them
Yeah.
out. You know what I mean? But I also have 2 more tubs on the way, so then I'll need to focus on those.
You guys in your G Fuel, we got the starter thing, and I don't know, it was okay, and then I think we still have so many of them. I don't think we're gonna drink it. So if you guys want it, by all means.
You know what? I guess it's not for everyone, but it's certainly for the 3 of us. Oh my god.
No.
Yeah, we love it. I don't have it every day.
You know-
Tub's like
but-
4 feet to my right.
Yeah, if you don't like powdered drinks, probably shouldn't get it.
Yeah.
And I loved Crystal Light growing up, so like this is like the perfect transition for me.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah, for sure. But that's Fuel Up with G Fuel, not sponsored again. But let's jump into a bit of news, and we're going to start off with the Infinite Watch, as always. I'm not going to play a sound effect this time because the soundboard was not working. So I'm just going to go dun 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 dun. Okay, and if there's any Halo Infinite news that I don't know about, please let me know. But it is bone dry out there. There's nothing happening, and that makes sense because the developers had 2 weeks off for the holidays. So they literally just got back to the studio this Monday. Makes sense they haven't announced anything or nothing's really come out. But there are a couple tidbits of info, and Harley, I know you mentioned the one prior to the show, so I'll let you mention the one. But I'll jump into this one here quick, which is somebody on Twitter asked the voice actor for the Arbiter, Keith David, if he was going to be in Halo Infinite. He's like, can you say if you're in Halo Infinite? And his response is, quote, I'd have to kill you. So, it's not a no. It's not a yes. It's a pretty vague answer. He probably can't say anything even if he is or is not in the game. But, I don't know. I'm reaching, but I would really like to see Arbiter in Halo Infinite. I don't know about you guys.
Oh yeah,
Pretty
he's like
sweet.
he's a great character. I mean, I don't know the lore. I think maybe Kevin or Tony, you guys could probably speak more to it. But in the stuff that's come out post Halo 5 for like books or comics or whatever, I don't know what you guys go into. Is the Arbiter in any of that stuff, or is he mentioned, or is this like his presence known? Like, do you guys know?
The book I read didn't mention it at all, but it was mostly just following John. So
Yeah, I haven't read too much stuff post Halo 5. The most I know post Halo 5 is what happened in Halo Wars 2, which Arbiter was not in. So
they'll probably include him more because he wasn't really in 5 much. It was really just those 2 missions, right? And one of them was just like an intel crappy mission.
well,
Just
So
walk around.
I mean, to be fair, he was actually a pretty big focus because you have that whole mission on San Helios where you help him destroy the last of the Covenant, or at least the Covenant as they knew it, and free the homeworld. And then also he's in the very last scene of the game. So
oh yeah, I guess he is in the last scene. I forgot about the last scene.
yeah, where they're all kind of
When
like
Halsey's
standing there.
Polymer's all messed up. and-
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's clearly a big part of the lore.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if they didn't include him, even if it's just his ship getting like ruined by the Banished or something.
I think it'd be really cool if like you're playing as Master Chief on a mission and like you're getting backed into a corner and things are looking really shitty and you're like just constantly backing up and you kind of get up to a wall and you're like, shit, what do we do? And then Arbiter rolls in and just like kills everyone. That'd be really cool. Yeah, badap, because he's such a cool character. Like he's so badass. That'd be awesome. But anyways, that's all I had.
Dominic in the chat is saying how Keith David's voice is unreal.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
the voice acting is
Agree.
awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I love him in Mass Effect. He's like one of my favorite secondary characters in at least the first one. I don't know if he's in the other ones. 'cause,
Oh, who
again,
does
I
he
haven't
voice
played
in Mass
past
Effect
one,
again?
But
Who does he voice
he
again?
was Anderson. He was the guy who was with Saren initially. I guess there was a book that came out before the first Mass Effect. He's the original captain of the. Is he?
Yeah. I'm remembering that now. He's the original.
He was the
captain
first
guy.
human Spectre. That's
Yeah.
the best thing I can remember.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then he got removed or whatever.
I remember that. Yeah. He's the guy that you go to in that. Yeah, I remember that now. On the Citadel, he helps you
He's
out.
got a lot of credits too. Yeah.
Cool. Harley, I know you mentioned the other thing about Halo Infinite. I think it was about a developer.
Yeah, it was just a developer left 343. He was a campaign level / gameplay designer. He worked for 343 on a contract basis, according to his LinkedIn page. But he has moved on to Texas-based studio Gunfire Games, which I believe is Darksiders.
Ah, gotcha.
So on his
That kind of
Twitter,
makes
he has
sense,
a
though.
he has a
Yeah.
neat little photo of him behind him in front of Chief.
Man, I would love to
as
visit
he
343
leaves.
one day because there's a lot of cool stuff
Yeah.
like that, man. Like statues of Chief and like Arbiter
Yeah,
and like
he's
there's a
got,
warthog
a-
there.
like
Like,
a life.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah, nah, just a little something.
Yeah, and
There's also that Halo showcase thing that was around before COVID. I forget what it was called.
oh yeah, Discovery Hope or something like that.
Yeah, and then you could see like everything to scale. And there'd
Yeah.
be like a flood spore that's bigger than your head, and like
Yeah.
Ugh.
Sangheili
Oh,
are
that's
just like
awesome.
7 feet tall. It's pretty crazy.
Ugh.
They never came to Canada with that. I think they had one in somewhere on the West Coast, and then I think there was one in Florida. There was only 2 or 3 locations they actually went to that. But yeah, maybe when COVID's over, they can come to Toronto or something. That'd be pretty wild. I'd be down to go to that.
I smell a field
Yeah.
trip
Yeah.
for the 4 of us.
Field trip for the boys.
Instead of like Universal Pictures, like what's that? You know, Disneyland. How Universal has their own like amusement
Universal
park. Kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
thing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Universal Studios.
Imagine like Microsoft had one for all their games.
Like
Nintendo
Nintendo's
has
doing.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's.
know that.
I don't know if it's open yet,
Sweet.
but I know it's. I think it's done now, right?
Yeah, it's done.
I
but
heard
not
maybe
open.
was it July or something? I think they were going to open.
Yeah,
Hopefully
I think.
once
I'm
COVID
I'm probably
comes, yeah.
wrong, but that's what I remember.
that'd be pretty cool to go to.
Hmm.
That'd be unreal. Just real life Mario Kart's all anyone's really asked for, so I mean, if it's there, perfect.
Real life Smash Bros.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Throwing Anna's on the track.
Oh, and it's like it's like actual banana peels, so like they stink. Oh, perfect.
Wash them out by midday because they're just rotting in the sun.
Rod.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Okay, so let's get off of Halo Infinite here, and we'll jump on to some other current news and events. But first, Dominic in the chat, aka Blue, says Dice just got back to work. Means Battlefield 6. Yeah, I think Battlefield 6 is supposed to come out this year, which we haven't really
Ooh.
seen anything about it. But I think the rumor is it's going to be either modern or like slightly futurist, but not like super far into the future, which is kind of cool.
Wasn't there rumors about there being like a game mode that was going to be like very like large scale or something like that?
Yeah, like
Like
super large
100
scale.
v 100 or something?
Yeah.
Especially with next gen, that's entirely
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah, that might be a next gen only game. But that's a topic for another show, actually.
My poor computer.
Yeah, your poor computer, man. Holy, that'd be a lot of fun though. Big 100v100. So let's get into the news now, and I guess that's part of it. But I'm going to start with a quick one here, and then we'll kind of go around the table. And that is the emote PogChamp has been removed from Twitch, or the one that we know, anyways. Which is that I don't remember the guy's name. He's doing that face where he's kind of like surprised or like whatever. Anyways, that got removed because apparently that guy tweeted some stuff during the whole Capitol Hill thing that he was like supporting it. So Twitch swiftly removed the emote. It's gone. And instead of that, now they're doing a kind of like a rotating PogChamp emote where they're highlighting different streamers and their own version of that PogChamp emote, and they're just rotating it across Twitch every 24 hours. Kind of interesting. I mean, I don't want to get too much into politics here, but I think it's neat how that kind of rolled into video games and how swift Twitch kind of just acted on that, and they're like, no, that's not cool. You're going down. And like that emote is one of the most popular emotes. Like it's used on every single channel. Like it's kind of like one of those global ones that everyone uses. So I mean, it's an emote at the end of the day, not a huge deal, but I mean, when it's site-wide and stuff like that, I thought it was noteworthy, newsworthy. We'll see where it goes, because eventually they're gonna have to settle on like a final one. But that dude is his face is no longer on Twitch anymore. Any thoughts on that one, boys? All right.
Yeah, that's
it's
arguably better, like, because then you're advertising for your content creators instead of just some random dude's face. I don't know if he like worked for Twitch and then that's why they chose his face, or if he was just a memeable guy, but
I think he was just memeable.
I think it's better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's way better then. And then somebody uses it and they go, "Hey, that's an interesting emote," and then they check it out and oh look, it's so and so, and
Yeah.
you follow it
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
I think with this whole thing, man, like, and I'm not going to talk about the politics side of it, but when it comes to, you said he was tweeting like controversial stuff about what was happening, but when I was growing up, I was always told to make smart decisions, and I think some of these people don't realize the influence they would have on social media, or like how watched social media is in general. So what I can take out of it is just maybe make smarter decisions next time. But no, it is a good thing to promote other streamers on your platform too, or other people in general. I agree with Kevin totally.
Yeah, it'll be interesting if they keep doing the rotating thing forever, or if they'll eventually land on like a new PogChamp. But I'll pass it off to Jim if you want to mention something that you found interesting.
So, because I've been playing a lot of Cyberpunk, I don't think a whole lot of new news has been coming out. I don't know how many patches have come out. I haven't had a patch on PC in a while, from what I can remember. But one thing I found interesting was that about 79% of the base player base, specifically the PC player base, has shrunk since launch, which makes total sense. I mean, when a game's launched and it's not at its optimal, not speed, but like optimal performance, people are going to get disenchanted and then eventually just kind of move on to something that works. But what I found interesting is that CD Projekt Red's other game, not that it's small or anything, but The Witcher 3, it took them about 3 months for them to lose as much of the player base that Cyberpunk has lost so far. I like the game a lot. I've been playing it a lot more. I got about, I think, 20-something hours now in my playthrough. And I've started doing the side stuff. I'm not just doing story stuff because I've learned about how side missions can affect the end of the game. So I've been taking a break from the story and kind of whittling all that stuff down. But I find it kind of crazy. Like, a lot of the negative news has died down for it. It's still there, but
you still can't buy it on PlayStation.
A lot of people have gone. Yeah.
Oh,
And
really?
Yeah.
Best Buy is now officially offering refunds too. So
Yeah.
it
People are
sucks,
mad.
but I mean, separate the art from the artist, right? So what do you guys think about that?
I got some thoughts for later if Kevin or Harley wants to jump in on that.
Yeah, like if your game isn't running properly on the platforms that you've advertised it will run on, then I think people are totally fair to be mad about that. And then I'm sure there were people like me who would sit there and go, well, if it can run on an Xbox One, my PC should be able to handle it. And then you boot it up and you're seeing similar problems to console players, and then your internal PC master race ideals start to really just
Oh.
hit you hard, and then you have to realize that maybe your PC isn't the best, so you refund it, then you go back to Fall Guys. Like,
You go buy a better PC.
You go back to playing old games. Yeah.
and just keep flaming on Reddit. Like, it's totally understandable that people would be mad about that.
Refund it and go play, the real Cyberpunk game, Deus Ex. Ain't 4 of them. Not sponsored by Deus Ex, but yeah.
And if you don't have a good PC to play it on, you like me, you just get a refund. Then possibly just wait for everything to get fixed.
Which
How's your
apparently...
opinion changed a bit, Harley?
Sorry, go Harley.
I don't really have any desire to play it.
Absolutely none. Like, you don't want to get it at a later date, or you want to get it at a later date just when it works.
If it's on sale, like a really good sale, I'll consider it. But there's no way I'm paying full price for it again.
Yeah.
Even if it's fixed, I won't pay full price. It's just, it's almost like I've played the beta and it was like, okay, this is cool. I'm enjoying it, but then, the beta side, early access kind of stuff, bugs, glitches, low performance, it kind of leaves a sour taste.
Yeah.
Oh, and
Especially for,
Dom
like, a
in the
brand
chat
new thing. Oh,
was
sorry.
talking about pre-orders. I think this was back with Battlefield 6. He's thinking about pre-ordering that, saying how
Yeah.
it's all large scale. I would agree with that too. Yeah,
Mhm.
and then he also says, I knew it was going to be rough with delays and the overhype. Yeah, the overhype was also a big part because there was so much advertisement for this. It was like, I think they were advertising like that it's already won like a bunch of awards and stuff like that before it came out. How it's going to be like the best game of the year and stuff like that. And then it got released and it was just kind of like, oof.
Yeah, people thought this game was going to be the best thing ever made. So, I mean...
And it might be later on, just not right now.
Well, yeah, I mean...
Yeah.
It's all subjective. I think
Well,
the
yeah.
important thing to remember is just not to get too caught up in that, because everything is, if you think something's going to be the best ever, that's a really high bar and it's going to be really hard for it to meet it. So it's best to come in with tempered expectations.
Yeah, everything with a little bit of salt.
Yeah, exactly. So here's my thoughts on that article, because I saw this too. I'm not sure if you read that off GameSpot by chance, Jim.
No, I was on I can't even remember what it was anymore. It wasn't like one of the major sites. Though.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I think the place I saw it was GameSpot, and they've been known to have super clickbaity titles, and the title was exactly that. Cyberpunk has lost 79% of its player base. Period. And it's like, oh wow, okay, and you click on that, and you start to read more into it, and there's a couple important things to note here. First, it's a single player game, so people beat the game and then they stop playing. So people probably beat the game on PC and then stopped playing. That makes sense. When they noted it took The Witcher 3 several months before its player base dropped that much, it's important to note that The Witcher 3's length is, for the main story, is about double what Cyberpunk is. And lastly, Cyberpunk's peak on Steam was over 1 million, and The Witcher 3's peak was about 100,000. So even with Cyberpunk losing 80%, call it, it's still double what The Witcher 3's peak ever was. So the article spells doom and gloom. It's far from it, man. This game still sold like bonkers, and it's a single player game, so it makes sense that people stop playing it once they beat it. And you know, of course, people played the game over the holiday break and beat it. It just makes sense, you know. It's not really like looking at the issues, and it's also only PC, right? Like I would be really interested to see what the console drop off rate. I bet the console drop off rate's like 95%. Like it's probably almost everybody stopped playing, but. Like I don't know. Like to me, this article is kind of like, yeah, of course people stop playing. It's single player.
Wasn't it on Steam? Was it even more specific? It's just Steam.
It's just Steam. They didn't look at GOG. They didn't look at. I think those are the only two platforms. Oh no, it's on Epic Games too. So like, there's a couple other platforms you could have purchased it on. Right? It's not a complete picture. So.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see with the other consoles and platforms.
Yeah.
What it's like.
Yeah. I think that's way more interesting than the PC argument. And the number makes sense. People beat the game, they stop playing. How many people replay the same game over and over and over again? It's probably 10%, maybe less than that. So it makes sense that 70% stop playing. Though I bet a lot of that is also due to bugs. You can't ignore that. I bet people just stopped playing it just because they thought it was too buggy as well.
I'm powering through all the. There's not like any game crashing issues or anything I've run into. It's mostly just like visual stuff, or sometimes like you'll get phone calls in the game and like their face will appear in the corner. Sometimes their face will just stare at you and they don't talk, and they're just kind of looking like, okay, like do I keep going? But then all of a sudden my character will respond like the other person was talking, and it's like, oh, okay, like I have no idea what's going on. So whatever, at least it's the side stuff. So like nothing crazy, just little stuff like that. But I've noticed it a lot less since I first got it on PC, and especially when I had it on Xbox. Oh my god, that's just like Harley was saying, it was kind of like paying for a beta, which is
yeah,
I don't want to get too negative.
Well, yeah, we got into it a couple weeks ago, right? I don't think there's any need to rehash over the specifics of Cyberpunk anymore.
Yeah, go back if you want to hear that episode. We did a whole full episode on that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Harley, got some news for us?
Yeah. So I'll go with like a smaller one. I'm gonna go with Fall Guys is getting Doom Eternal skins next week, and they had a little trailer. It features couple of demons, and wow, what's the main guy? Doom guy? What's his name? Doomslayer?
Yeah, Doomslayer.
Yeah. So those two skins, and I think there's gonna be like a special level that's like themed around Doom.
Ooh, that's cool.
Actually, it might just be skins. I don't know.
It's like how Doom and Animal Crossing had that whole thing going on because they came out at the same time, and they're like polar opposites for games, but they like marketed together on social media. It was kind of funny. It's kind of like that.
I loved those memes. They were quality memes.
That was like right at the beginning of the pandemic too. Gore. So everyone like needed something fun, and that was it.
Oh, and Dom's in the chat. Cyberpunk PTSD. Yeah.
Definitely.
I remember all the crashes.
Yeah,
I still feel so bad for you, man. Like, I think I said this on the last episode, but like you were like definitely the one I think that was like the most hyped for it, and now you're the one that's like, wow,
No, I
Eh,
love open
if I
world
play it, I play it.
RPGs. But
that's crazy, man.
you'll play it someday, I'm sure. It'll
Wait.
fix itself. It'll go on a big sale, and
way it goes.
you'll be able to play it.
Away she goes. bub.
Away she goes. Sometimes she goes, sometimes she doesn't.
It's the way of the road. Time she didn't.
This time she didn't go. Can you imagine if their like CEOs came out and they're like, yeah, well, you know, sometimes she goes, sometimes she doesn't.
You know what? I'd buy it. I can't even run it, and I'd buy it just because of that. That's great.
They that's what they should have done, man. That would have been good.
This is why we can't run companies, because we'd just be doing stuff like this.
Or we should.
Or we should run companies. That's right. Well, I mean, this is
Yeah.
basically what
Content
Devolver Digital
shape.
does. So,
Memeage.
yeah. Don't let your memes be dreams. Kevin, I know you had a bit of news. You wanna
Water
get
under
into
the
that?
fridge, boys.
Yeah, water under the fridge.
Man, that's awesome.
Uh,
Oh man.
Yeah. Because I've been playing so much Elite, I've been really grinding, trying to get ranked up so I could get a cool new ship. So I was looking into the new expansion that's coming out early 2021 is what it's set for, and it's called Odyssey, and it's they're adding first-person shooter elements to the game. So that's really exciting, and they came out on a new article on Eurogamer and showed some new interior screenshots that are high res, and it's looking really slick. And I'm
yeah.
kind of taking it with a grain of salt. This
Oh,
is
yeah.
really different for Frontier developments. Like
Mm.
from space
Another wheelhouse.
ship sim to first FPS.
So they've never made an FPS before.
No, not like this. I don't think so. The other expansion, Horizons, essentially just let you like drive around on celestial body
Yeah.
surfaces in a rover. And when that came out, it was pretty bare bones. Like it was just like, okay, you can land on this thing, have fun. But now they're adding like specific stations,
Combat.
and you can go in and raid stuff. I'm just getting excited for playing with you, Harley, and another one of our
Oh
friends.
yeah.
Two guys on
I
the
made it.
ground shooting stuff up, and then someone just doing
Boots
air
on the
support.
ground.
It's gonna be
Meme
great.
runs. Are you gonna play first person with your stick?
No, I was hoping I could just like swap between controller and the stick, because it's already bad enough trying to drive the Arab.
The rover?
Yeah, with
Oh.
the stick, because I need to use
Yeah.
like the lateral rocker as the wheels, and it's kind of janky. But
I wonder how you would do that.
I probably could if I were to map it. It has like ABXY on it, and one trigger would just be my gun, and when I want to run forward, I have to move the throttle
Oh.
ahead.
Oh,
That'd be kind of weird.
That'd be
Actually,
bad
it
news.
sounds kind of cool to figure out.
You can just
Like those
also
people
like
who play
use your
Dark
mouse and
Souls
keyboard.
with control.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's
like-
true. It
Play
has-
with a Guitar Hero guitar, speed running Dark Souls.
There's probably some of that
Shit.
happening right now. Actually, it's
Yeah.
GDQ
Probably.
right now, so that's probably
No,
happening.
Oh, that's awesome.
Good stuff.
Dom says it looks really cool too. I agree. Looking forward to it.
That
you
game's
have
been
the
out for
time
a
to
while
just
now,
Sell your soul.
right?
2016.
Dangerous?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm glad they're still adding to it though. They didn't just abandon it.
Yeah, and you know when this comes out, they're gonna keep updating it, just like Horizons. Like they're in it for the
Mhm.
long haul, and I know that there's gonna be a lot of players coming back to the game because they've just
Hmm.
done everything they could.
Yeah, like I think I got like 1 billion credits right now, and I'm literally just waiting. I'm just waiting for whenever we get to.
I'm
Back
so
on.
jealous of you guys and all your money. I have like
Oh.
250,000, and I think I'm like doing okay.
Yeah.
And you guys are in the
Yeah.
billions.
Yeah,
I gotta do those Robingo runs, but
I'm just waiting to like check out my ship.
it does suck though, because the credits, like the normal credit system, doesn't work for first-person shooting stuff. They've already confirmed. Like, you won't be able to buy guns or new suits with regular credits. It'll be a special
Oh.
on the ground
Oh,
currency.
okay. Okay.
So that you people with all your billions of credits, you can't
Yeah.
just walk in.
You
You
can't
deck
just-
yourself out first thing.
All right. I want everything.
Alright, I'm God now.
I got
Let's go.
24 billion.
They kind of have to do that
That's
because you're
how-
right. That's what
Yeah.
happened.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
That way they would just steamroll through everything.
Yeah, like the people with fleet carriers and their hundreds
Oh,
of
yeah.
billions of dollars, like crazy money, crazy hours.
Hmm.
Crazy game.
It is.
Fun game.
It's like work, but it's fun.
Yeah. Every time you guys describe it, I'm like, so that
It's
sounds
fun
like a
work.
job.
It's
I
it's an
mean,
MMO, so you're grinding.
Yeah.
I am basically a taxi when I play that game.
You guys were being taxis.
Yeah, you can either be you can be a taxi or a miner to make money.
Yeah, if you want to make lots of money quickly.
Hmm.
Kevin prefers
that's my
making money
news.
the hard way, right, Kevin?
I'm just doing missions. I like the missions. More role playing. Feel like I'm a cool spaceman, not just. Hey, where are you going? All right, sweet, let's go. 2 jumps. You're 3 jumps. I don't want you in my ship. Get out. Too much time. Not worth the investment.
Space Uber.
Space Uber.
Oh man. All right, so I'm gonna jump into the next piece. I'm gonna list off a couple really small pieces of news here. We don't really have to go into them because I got a bunch here. So, In Exile, which is a first-party Xbox studio, they shipped Wasteland 3 earlier this year in August. They are now officially working on a next-gen action role-playing game with FPS elements, which is interesting. Microsoft tried to purchase a bunch of companies back in the day before the original Xbox, including EA, Square Enix, Midway, and even Nintendo. And apparently with Nintendo, they actually just laughed for the entire one hour presentation as Microsoft pitched to buy them. They literally just laughed the whole
Big
time.
move.
So I thought that was pretty funny. I mean, I get it. That was before Halo came out and before Halo was the killer app. So they're like, crap, we need games. Quick, buy all the game companies. And they tried Nintendo, and Nintendo literally just laughed the entire time. Thought that was a funny piece of news. Outriders has been delayed till April 1st. That's a game coming from Square Enix and People Can Fly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that was supposed to come out in
I
February.
forgot about that.
And there's still a demo coming out in February, but it's going to come out April 1st, and it's not an April Fool's joke. It's actually going to come out April 1st. They just needed a little bit of extra time for polish. So that's a small delay that just happened. And lastly, before I pass it back over to Jim here, the co-creator of Dishonored, Harvey Smith, he's working on a new unannounced game at Arcane Studios, Arcane Austin, alongside the developers from Dishonored and the Prey teams. And remember that Microsoft purchased Bethesda, ZeniMax, and Arcane Studios is in that. So the developers that made Dishonored and Prey, they're working on a new game that's probably going to be an Xbox exclusive. Xbox and PC, if you think about it that way. So
And that's
that-
good too because we're not getting Deathloop, I don't think.
No,
That's a
we will.
PlayStation exclusive, right?
No, we will. It's a timed exclusive. So
It's
we're not going to get Deathloop until
that's what I was gonna say.
2022. Like PlayStation's going to have it for
'Cause
however
I
much
really
time.
want to play.
Yeah, Deathloop
That's
looks really cool.
Really itching, man.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I think there's 2 exclusive games that the Bethesda studios are making for PlayStation, but then Microsoft bought them, so now they're only like timed exclusives. So eventually they're gonna come out on Xbox. But that's all I got. Jim, over to you.
I just want to mention 3 quick things. To piggyback what I was mentioning before about Cyberpunk, a New York-based law firm called, let me get the name here, Rosen Law Firm. This is from Polygon, this article, has filed a class action lawsuit against CD Projekt Red, and I guess as a result, Cyberpunk for, let me get their quote here. So pretty much, I don't know the exact quote. I'm not prepared. Let's just say that. But no, false misleading statements about Cyberpunk. According to the suit, CD Projekt didn't disclose enough information about Cyberpunk, that it was buggy and virtually unplayable on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Specifically, the statements called out in the lawsuit are regarding the company's claim the game was complete and playable in January 2020. So they're kind of going after them for essentially lying, I guess, in their eyes. Which maybe before I get to the other 2 things, I'll let you guys comment on that. What do you guys think? How far this lawsuit will go?
First, Tom's in the chat talking about how Elite Dangerous sounds like a job with extra steps. Very much so. And he's also stoked about the NXL news.
Yeah, In Exile
Uh,
Wasteland
to
3
your
is
point.
yeah, that was I
Ooh.
think one of the highest rated games
Wasteland 3,
this
yeah.
year. I got
I
like
want to play that too, actually.
Still want to play it.
yeah,
I think it's on Game Pass.
it is
Isn't
Game Pass.
Yep.
Yeah, it's Game
Yep.
Pass.
It is.
Maybe I'll give it an install for PC after the show.
Yeah,
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. And then, to your point, Jim, I could kind of see it as them. Well, who'd you say was filing the lawsuit again?
So it's a New York-based law firm called Rosen something. I closed the
Because I
article,
heard
unfortunately.
it was like stockholders that were starting this. Because I
Yeah,
think they
so
were like
I forgot to mention that, but
pissed.
yeah, it was like mainly
Okay.
investors that kind of filed the class
Yeah.
action lawsuit.
because the Project Red stocks just like dropped from Cyberpunk. I think they're just pretty mad about the I don't know what you want to say it, like misrepresentation of what they were selling.
yep.
Yeah.
That's how you would say it.
Backlash.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, they're not mad about the sales figures because they sold 13 million in one day. They're mad about the
Even
stock
with
price
refund,
dropping.
yeah.
It's the stock price dropping,
the
which
stock.
which is a result of all the bad news, right? So I could see that the stakeholders are like, "What the hell? You told us this game was ready, and it clearly wasn't ready on everything." So that's why that's essentially what they're filing the lawsuit on. If you're a publicly traded company, you have to provide reports and updates to your stockholders, and they need to be valid and true, right? Or they can do this stuff. So I think this will end poorly for CD Projekt Red. Some kind of
bait and
payout,
switch.
bait and switch.
Yeah, pretty mal, yeah.
I feel bad for the
So,
developers, man.
Kevin, do you have any thoughts on that or no?
Yeah.
I mean, like everyone else was saying, just stockholders are gonna be mad that the stock's going down because they want to make money
Mhm.
too, and they're gonna tell everybody to hurry up. Worst case, Ontario company shuts down, but I really doubt that.
Oh, yeah, I doubt that.
It won't shut down. It'll just be a big payout
Now's
to
the
those
time to buy their
stockholders.
stock.
Oh yeah, well it's low.
Welcome to Follow My Tracers,
Welcome to
new
Follow My
investing
Tracers.
podcast.
Wall Street bets.
Yeah.
Hey, we're not lying to you. We know we're crappy. So invest low. No, we're the best. Who am I kidding?
Listen, there's
So
this
the other
company
two little
called
pieces of news-
Jagex, and they made a RuneScape, and you have to contact them, but you can
Jaguar
invest in
Health
them.
Incorporated,
Yeah.
or whatever it was.
Jaguar Health.
Invest in
They're really
RuneScape.
down. I wonder what happened. I want to know.
Yeah, because they were at, what do you say, 7,000?
Yeah, it was like thousands, and now they're $4. Like, what happened?
Imagine,
Karma, bro.
yeah, like imagine having a stock at 7,000
Those
saying,
little
oh, it's just
killer
going to keep
dark
going
horse.
up, and then it crashes to 400. Like, what do you do with yourself? Oh, man. Invest in RuneScape. That's what you do.
Quit.
Yep.
You should invest in Epic Games, because the other piece of news I wanted to quickly mention, because there's not a whole lot to say, is Epic Games just bought a huge property for their new headquarters, their new global headquarters, I should say. So the property they bought is 980,000 square feet, and
Wow.
acquired it for 95 million. And it's 2 miles from Epic Games' current HQ. This is via Polygon. So it's 87 acres. It's the Cary Town Center. So they're gonna have like a big new hub for well, I guess everything for them. And it's crazy because in August they had some funding, I guess, coming their way or whatever it was. But they were valued at 17.3 billion in August. So this doesn't really surprise me that they have this new huge like space that they're going to be doing everything out of pretty well. It's kind of cool. I mean, it's a lot, but anyway. But the other thing I want to quickly mention is, I think, and this is something I want personally. I think so. Xbox supposedly was it says right here via GameSpot. A survey being sent out to certain Xbox Series X and S users asks a number of questions about their thoughts on the console thus far, including if it feels faster than previous systems, blah, blah, blah. But it also mentions PlayStation by name, asking if players are aware of PlayStation's controller's features and whether they want them on the Xbox controller, namely the DualSense. So this was something, I know the Xbox the Xbox One controllers. I think Tony, you were saying they had adaptive triggers or something like that,
Yeah,
but that's not the same thing as the DualSense, right?
yeah, the DualSense is a step further. So adaptive triggers, they basically just have rumble packs in the triggers, so you can simulate some tension and stuff like that. And when you're playing like for example, when you're playing a racing game like Forza and you're holding down the trigger, you can feel the rumbling in the trigger, which kind of simulates a car, and they can kind of like simulate tension. But it's not the same as PlayStation, where they can actually simulate like real tension in the triggers. And also, what is it? Haptic feedback, and there's something else. But the actual whole controller like can make you like, I don't know. Their controller has some cool tech in it. The controller can like make your hands like tingle and some shit. I don't know, but that's basically.
I think it'd be pretty cool.
I wonder how long that lasts though, because at a certain point you're playing that for hours on end, years even. Eventually, that's gonna start to give. You know. I wonder how long that
care.
could like actually be viable before it just sort of falls apart.
You're right. Nobody knows. The controller just came out, right? So, yet remains to be seen. What I do know is that the battery life on those things is not great. Now, mind you, it's PlayStation, so the batteries are built in, so you get a charge cable, you charge them up. But, I mean, yeah, the battery life isn't good because of all those extra features. And there's only like 2 or 3 games that actually take advantage of those features right now. I think Astro's Playroom does, because that was like the pack-in game that showed everyone all the controller features. And then Spider-Man does some stuff too, but that's it. Every other game doesn't. Actually, I think Call of Duty might use the adaptive trigger or the haptic triggers or whatever it is. Impulse triggers, that's what they call them. But that's kind of it. So it's one of those things where yeah, like it's like I said, Xbox has those adaptive triggers, and basically the only game that ever used it was Forza. So like, even though other developers could have used it, so it's one of those things like, is it a gimmick or is it actually like cool? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Probably more of a gimmick, but it's still cool. Like, it's a bit of both in my eyes.
I think it'd be nice if you
Anything
had
that,
the
like,
option,
immerses
but
me.
you could turn it off. If you could turn it off,
Yeah,
that, you know, then that's cool.
it's like those aftermarket controllers where I have one. I think it's called the Afterglow, where there's a button on the back
Oh,
for
yes.
for the Xbox 360, and you can either have the light on or just have the light go on when it vibrated, or not have the light on at all. So stuff like that. That there's like a button on the controller, or even just like a menu on the actual Xbox, like a slider or something. Yeah, that'd be cool to have the option.
Yeah.
But yeah, like kind of what Kevin was saying, it must like really kill your controller after like a year or two if like a lot of games start using it, or if you play the same game for like a year.
I also
I don't
wouldn't
know.
want the controller to get too expensive.
Yeah,
You
it might
know?
be like, well, how much is the PlayStation 5 controller compared to the Series X? Is it the same price?
No, it's more expensive. I forget by how much. It's not like $100.
that's
I think it's still cheaper than Joy-Cons. I'll say that. Like a set of Joy-Cons.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
Joy-Cons are stupid.
that's like $100. But I think it's the price of a game. I think it's $80 in Canada for a DualSense controller, whereas the Xbox controller I think is $60. So there you go.
They're more than that.
I was gonna say, I thought the
Xbox
Xbox One
Series.
controllers were like $80.
No, they're
I
not.
thought they were
They not. I think the brand new ones that
Xbox-
came out might be $75. It might be $74.99.
Them not having the built-in battery pack.
$74.99.
Okay. The not having the battery pack in, I'm sure brings down the cost a lot. As much of a pain as it is to have to buy the $60-$70 battery pack stand thing, it cuts the initial cost down.
Yeah. And it gives you a bit of freedom too, because like, I don't know, it means you can swap out batteries if you run out. You don't have to worry about like charging it. You can always have like a backup
Just
set. It's a
more
bit
waste.
a bit more flexible that way, but yeah, I mean, not as good for the environment either. Controllers.
Dom's in
I'm
the
waiting
chat,
for the pack big.
Epic Games isn't publicly traded.
Yeah, they are a privately owned company.
Yeah, by
Well,
Tencent.
Get them,
All of our plans.
get those stocks.
Who owns Genshin Impact?
Tencent.
Oh,
Is it Tencent?
Yeah, I think so.
Publisher
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Tencent. They own them. They're weird because like it's hard to find what they own because they're kind of like sketched. Like you can't find Tencent in the credits of their games. Like they kind of like they're like sneaky.
hide.
I'm pretty sure it's Tencent owns MiHoYo or whatever it is.
Nihoi
$537. 537 HKD.
Hong Kong dollars, I think.
Yep, you're correct.
Am I actually?
Yeah, you
Nice.
are 100%.
Cool.
Wow.
Nice.
So it's 93.77 Canadian.
We're just trading stocks now. I like it. This is good.
Welcome to
It's
follow
never
my
been higher.
cryptocurrency.
Now's not the time to buy. It's not the time to buy cryptocurrency either.
No, it's not.
I think it just went over $3,000 a coin.
Yeah.
But
The time to buy was back in March when everything went to hell for 1 week on the stock market. That was the
Yeah.
time. Because then it just bounced
Man.
back right away. So
I was thinking about it, but saving money. So didn't
yeah,
bother me.
I wasn't in a position to do it, but if I was, like, I would have just, I would have done it for sure. I recognized it right away. I'm like, ah, shit, now's the time. But I'm not there. Damn it. There will be another time, I'm sure. Hopefully not another pandemic, though. Harley, any more news on your end?
I had, well, we're talking about money. I have one where the Rust developer, Face Punch, made more than 1 million in a day twice this week, and is partly due to the offline TV starting a streamer server. They invite very popular streamers to join that server, and they have big names like Valkyrie. They have XQC, Shroud, H2O Delirious. Tim the Tatman just got on there with Cloaksy, Symphony, Courage JD. Like, people. Pokimane is on there too. Like,
Asmongold, too.
yeah, like people who are pulling like serious numbers, and they're all on this server. It's spiking popularity. But, it also comes with some drama, where people are being accused of stream sniping. Because, well, everyone's a streamer, so
Yeah.
And there's kind of debates over like kind of more like the rules. So like I believe they've made 2 servers now. One that is more focused on PvP, player versus player, like raiding and such, and the other one is more for like role play, more kind of like goofy kind of content, I think.
Yeah, I've seen the roleplay one a little bit. I've seen like a bunch of them like pretend to be cops, and then like
Yeah.
they go around like arresting people, kind of thing, which is kind of fun.
Oh, the chat
Boys
said-
focus games. Yeah. What's
Listen,
this about stocks?
we're all just a bunch of Wall Street boys, okay? You should see us in real life. We got slicked back hair. We wear dress shirts. Oh, it's great.
Got the suits.
Yeah, the suits. Yeah, we're all just doing
Money.
cocaine, massive amounts of cocaine.
You're making money.
on like 2 cell phones at once, one
Yeah.
in each hand.
Yeah, it's a
Oh,
mess.
sell, buy.
We're doing it on the Toronto Stock Exchange, which has like 10 stocks. Love it. It has more than 10. That was a joke. But anyways, that's enough about stocks.
Name.
Constantly buying and selling the Toronto Maple Leafs.
I don't think ML. Oh, you know what? Okay, no, we shouldn't get into this. I think you might be able to buy stocks in MLSE.
That's my role. I figured it out.
You're the stocks guy.
So the 6.
All right, so we'll give you like $20 each, and you got to grow that to 1,000 by tomorrow. Actually, no,
You know,
stock
that's
market.
actually-
No, markets are
that's not a
closed.
lot
End of day
of
Monday. End of day Monday. But then we use that 1,000, and we grow that to 10K, and then 10K to 100. You see, it's just like a steamroller. Okay, I'm getting too deep
This is
into
gonna be the
this.
casino all over again, and we're just
Yeah.
gonna lose all our money.
Yeah.
Play the tables. Don't know what you were doing.
One of us
Our
loses all of our
best
money,
is
and then we
answer.
just give like the rest of it to somebody else to like just no, it's fine. Okay.
Good time.
44 million for a first line. That's a bad investment.
Oh man. Is that all you got for news, Harley? For Rust?
Yeah, it was they're also just comparing it to Among Us. Like Among Us and Rust are both older games. Like they've been out for like, a few years now. Well, Rust was always pretty popular, but now it's kind of spiking again.
Yeah.
But they're in comparing it to like Among Us, how popular streamers started playing that, and how it kind of just like kept growing and uh piggybacking.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
kind of
that's
reinforced
about it.
how like streamers can actually like
Yeah,
sell the game.
They have huge influence.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which means that,
very much
you know,
so.
guaranteed a lot of companies are looking at this right now going, oh shit, okay, so when our game comes out,
yeah.
we give everyone a code and get them to play it for a week. So that's just,
I mean,
it's
they're
just gonna
already
happen more.
doing that.
Yeah, they're already doing that, but now like even more so. Like
Yeah.
if Halo Infinite wasn't already thinking about doing it, I
Yeah.
guarantee they're gonna do that now.
Yeah, I think it more like private servers. I think where all like a bunch of streamers can get together.
Yeah.
'Cause it's just like cross motion.
Yeah, exactly. When they can all kind of do it together instead of having 10,000 eyes on a game, you got, you know, 100,000 eyes on the game or whatever, in the case of Among Us or whatever. So, yeah. I got a couple more small pieces of news here, and then we'll get into the main topic because we've been doing this for a while now already. So, Nintendo is discontinuing Netflix on the Wii U and the 3DS. There's still no Netflix on the Switch, so I don't know what's going. It was on the 3DS. Maybe you can watch Netflix in 3D. Wait, could you watch Spy Kids 3D on the 3DS and it works? Oh no!
3D.
Somebody quickly get your 3DS before they take it offline. But yeah, it's
saying it's awesome marketing.
It is awesome marketing. Yeah.
Appealing to streamers is probably the best way nowadays.
Yeah,
Like,
it's definitely probably
why
more
do
efficient
TV
than commercials. Yeah, exactly.
it's also got to be much cheaper than like TV ads and print ads. He also says, yeah,
Yeah,
right? Like all you got to do is you got to sponsor a stream. I don't know really the numbers behind that kind of stuff. Like I don't know.
I'm sure
like
it's
$1,000.
I'm sure it's more than
thousands
that.
of dollars or something like that. I don't know. Like tens of thousands.
I think
I don't know.
it probably depends on like the length of time. You know, like okay, you play this game for a week and it'll be this
Like a
much. But if you play it
5
for 2 weeks,
hour-
you know, like you do this much. Like you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like that kind of thing.
I think they mostly just sponsor a stream.
Yeah,
Be like, okay, this stream is sponsored. Like this
Yeah.
5-hour segment is like an ad
yeah.
stream.
That's how most of them are. Exactly. They'll
Yeah.
play it for like one stream, or maybe they have a 2 or 3 stream deal where they
Hmm.
they kind of play it a few times.
Like today, like Monday and Tuesday, I'll be streaming #ad kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And that's really getting paid
Yeah,
to play
I
video
agree.
games.
Logo.
It's probably going to be a lot cheaper. Like all you're doing is handing money to the streamer and then letting the streamer, their thing,
Oh, yeah, TV commercials are hella expensive, man.
acting and storyboarding and all that.
Yeah, even just production aside,
guess
just
not
getting the
acting.
channel to run your commercial
Not
is hella expensive. So
Oh, you remember those Call of Duty commercials, the live action ones?
yeah, with the celebrities,
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
loved those.
those were good. Those were good commercials. Speaking of commercials, I remember
Right.
Jim and I
I'm
remember.
sorry to interrupt.
No. Speaking of commercials, Jim and I were talking about like the old Wii commercials, the We Would Like to Play ones. Those were fun too. I remember those.
Oh yeah.
But anyways,
Netflix on a 3DS.
yeah, Netflix on the 3DS. It's going away. Same with it's Wii U, but it's still not on the Switch. I have no idea why Netflix isn't on Switch, but
Yeah,
it's not.
why?
But it's not on the Switch yet. So I wonder if it's eventually
It's
going to
so
come to it, or at this point, if it's just like whatever. I don't know. I think that's really weird. That's not on the Switch yet. Also, Sony is halting PS4 production, specifically the PS4 Pro. They are just keeping the PS4 Slim to continue to be produced, alongside the 2 PS5 SKUs. And the reason for that is that the PS4 Pro is the same price as the PS5 all digital. So why would you go for the PS4 Pro when you can get the PS5? So that makes sense, but a little piece of news there, and they are saying how that should free up some production capacity for additional PS5s. So that's interesting. Next Level Games, which are the makers of Luigi's Mansion and Mario sports games like Super Mario Strikers and the baseball games and all that, they are officially being acquired by Nintendo. They actually weren't owned by Nintendo before. They were like a second party studio, so they kind of just made games for them all the time, but technically they didn't have to. But Nintendo officially bought them. So that's another piece of news. It probably doesn't change much, really. It just means that Nintendo is now probably going to rely on them even more to pump out more games. I don't know if you guys ever played Super Mario Strikers, but that was basically a combination of like soccer and like American football combined, because like you could like check people and like body slam them, and like you could basically it was like murder but soccer and Mario. It was really good. They were really fun games actually. Yeah, it was like Blood Bowl. Yeah. It was kind of like really uncharacteristic for Mario, because like Donkey Kong would just like pick up Mario and just like slam him into the ground, and then Mario was like bloodied, and well, not bloodied, but like bruised up on the ground, like dead for like 3 seconds. Yeah. And like you could do like supercharged shots where you do like a special like move, and if you score, it counts as 2 goals, and the goalie has to like try to save it. And if you don't, the goalie just gets like blasted into the net and like dies for a minute. It's fun. It was pretty violent for a Mario game, so I hope they make another one. Those were fun. And lastly, last piece of news I have is PC players of Cyberpunk can now play in third person with a mod.
Oh.
Yeah. I always thought it was really weird that you could go third person in Cyberpunk. So, like that.
Character customization.
Yeah, you spend all this time on your character and making them look cool and getting all the clothes and all that and doing all your mods, and then you can't really even look at them, so PC players kind of just took it into their own hands and modded it. So I hope that there's an official third-person mode that comes out eventually for console and everything else, but thought that was an interesting piece of news. But let's get into our main topic here, because we're already an hour in. We don't need to dwell on this one too much, because I think we probably all have a similar opinion here. But the topic is, should you pre-order games? And obviously, with everything that happened to the Cyberpunk, that kind of provokes the conversation. That, you know, playing something before knowing how good it is, or even just on day one, it's kind of risky and also unnecessary. But also, obviously, we want to play the thing that we want to play, so that's what kind of plays into it. But before getting more like deeper into that, I wanted to ask everyone, aside from Cyberpunk, for the 3 of us that pre-ordered it, what was the last time you actually pre-ordered a game? Kevin, I'll start with you.
Can
you even remember? Like,
it might have been. It was probably Halo 5, so that I could get the day before download. At that time, I didn't have great internet. That was the only reason. The only time I usually pre-order a game is if I'm like gonna get a special edition, and if I find that worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, or if there's like some bonuses or something.
Yeah, if there's like a cool statue or like.
Like
I did that
Reach?
I did that with Reach. And if there's one for Halo Infinite, and I have the money, I'll go for that too.
Like a statue, that'd be sweet.
Special edition console.
Yeah, that'll be a thing, I think.
If it looks cool, I'll do it.
Yeah, they've had a special edition Halo console for every Halo game, every mainline Halo game, so I think that's a shoo-in. So you guys might have a cool opportunity to get a really cool Series X. But, Jim, what was the last game that you pre-ordered aside from Cyberpunk? I think yours might be more recent than the rest of ours, because I think I know the answer.
I think me and Jim are probably in the same boat.
Was it? Well, maybe not. I think the last one I really remember pre-ordering might be Watch Dogs. I remember pre-ordering that, but that wasn't
Watch Dogs Legion. That is right.
Yeah, Watch Dogs Legion.
Okay.
That only came out November?
Yeah, so super recently.
I feel like I'm missing something. Yeah.
I know. Didn't you pre-order Squadrons as well? But I know that was October.
That came out October.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Cold War.
Cold War.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, okay. I pre-ordered Cold War too. Yeah.
You both pre-ordered that.
Right. I forgot about that. I forgot you guys pre-ordered that game. You
did too.
I pre-ordered it as well to get the character pack, but then I canceled it. But I was still able to keep it, which is amazing.
You still got it.
Yeah. I screwed over Call of Duty big time last year, man. I got the free character. I got like 50 free
They might be
tiers.
listening. Stop.
I don't care. Whatever.
They
We're
might
done.
take away your one skin.
30 battle pass gifts.
Yeah, they just kept letting me redeem the free thing. It was great. I forgot you guys pre-ordered that one. For me, I think the last game I pre-ordered aside from Cyberpunk was probably Pokemon Shield in 2019 when that game came out. And the only reason I kind of did that is I kind of knew it was a shoo-in. It's Pokemon, it's Nintendo, it's going to be high quality. I know I'm going to put enough time to justify the price, so that was enough for me. But kind of what like you guys were saying, like unless there's like a cool like physical edition that has like a nice pre-order bonus, like a statue or whatever it is, like there's not really much incentive to pre-order games now. Like they usually go like, oh, here's a free skin, or like here's a day one whatever, but like in the end it doesn't really mean anything. And
Yeah,
with the
so-
game, with the state of games that have been coming out recently, Cyberpunk being an example, but basically everything, like how many games work day one? Not many, right?
Oh, I lied. Crap. Mine was Fire Emblem. I got the
Fire
special
Emblem.
edition
Oh.
Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Oh,
with the
okay.
calendar and the art book.
Pre-ordered
And,
it?
Ooh.
yeah,
But physical edition again, right? So
Oh yeah, 'cause
there you
that
go.
would have sold out. Like
Yeah, I was ready at work in the bathroom because that's the only place where like I can be on my phone. And I was just like refreshing the page, waiting for it to go live. And then got it from Best Buy. So that was the last one I got.
That's good.
It was a sweet art book too.
yeah. So Dominic's in the chat saying how he remembers his girlfriend getting him a collector's edition of Destiny 2. It came with like a lore book, figurine, steel book. How pre-orders are brutal for sports games. Never
Yeah.
pre-ordered those.
Oh, sports
I-
games.
ugh.
Ugh. Ugh. I love sports games, but man, like I don't buy them anymore. I just wait for them to come on EA Play or EA Access now, I guess, whatever it's called. But
To his first point, I totally agree. Like, what gets me to pre-order something is like something extra.
yeah,
So, like in Kevin's case, getting like those extra little goodies, like, totally go for that. Especially for something physical too, like, you know, something you can hold in your hands, a figurine or an art book.
Master Chief's helmet with Halo 3.
yeah, like that's a
Or-
sweet
no,
one.
wait.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
That wasn't a pre-order one though. Wasn't that just the one collector's edition?
That was the collector's edition, but you had to basically
Was that
pre-order it. It sold out.
legendary?
yeah,
It sold out.
Oh,
Right?
yeah,
That's the
because
thing.
otherwise it would sell out.
That's the idea with collector's
Halo usually
editions.
does a pretty good job.
Yeah, like I forgot what the Halo 4 big one was, but even the Halo 5 one, you know, whatever opinion on the game aside, they had two really cool statues that kind of fit together. One was Chief, one was Locke. And they kind of like they look
Ooh.
like really cool, like bookshelf, like bookends kind of thing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like even that had a really cool like statue thing, and those are usually like the
Uh,
big like $200 editions. But
I got
know.
Halo 2's. Comes with like a steel book.
yeah, Halo
Steel,
2's wasn't too
steelbook
crazy.
case. I mean, it wasn't. It also came with like the making of the game. I thought it was really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've watched that a number of times. That oh man, the
Mhm.
development of Halo 2
I
could
own
be
that
its own
steelbook, too.
podcast. It's so crazy. It's probably the craziest video
Yeah.
game development of all time. But yeah, I mean, we're all kind of hitting on the same points here, which is like, I don't know. It's kind of like weird pre-ordering stuff now, unless there's like a really cool like physical edition thing, or at least like a really good digital benefit that like makes it worth it to do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I don't
Otherwise,
know
I'd
about
just rather wait.
Yeah,
and
like
see how it.
and I think the whole concept of pre-ordering, right? And it's kind of outdated itself, but it's still here because pre-orders are based on supply, right? That's what they were based on before. It's you better order this game because it's gonna sell out. I remember back when Halo 3 came out, and Jim, you'll remember this. There was one kid in our class who got it, and I think it was only one anyways. And we all became friends with him for a week because it was sold out everywhere. And we played Halo 3 at
Yeah.
his house, and then when we got it, we
LAN parties.
yeah, the old MK is his initials, but yeah, like, you know, Halo 3 was one of those ones where it was like you gotta get it or it's gonna sell out. There was other games like that too, I'm sure. I think Modern Warfare 2 might have been similar.
That had the night vision goggles, didn't it?
In the big edition, yeah. The night
Ooh.
Yeah, I forgot that game with actual night vision goggles. That's kind of creepy actually. Like what were they thinking?
And didn't 3 come with a
Tactical.
drone or something? One of the Call of Duty games came with like a drone or an
Oh, yeah,
RCXD or something
yeah.
like that.
A small. Oh yeah, I think
Yeah.
the RCXD, like a small RCXD. That'd be cool.
I can't remember.
But like these editions, that was when it's physical, and I guess even the physical editions now, like they eventually run out. But with just like if you're just gonna pre-order a game and you're not gonna get the special edition version with the thing that you really want, like you don't have to worry about supply because at least half the people buy
Yeah.
digitally, so you can download it digitally whenever if you want, unlimited supply. Or you're not gonna have trouble finding it in store because half the people buy digitally now, so there's copies in store, you know. So the whole concept of pre-ordering for me, even like just take the special editions out, like why do it? You know what I mean? And I fell for this for Cyberpunk. I totally pre-ordered it, but like
Yeah, me too.
you know, like what do you guys
There's
think?
no bonus too. There's no.
Yeah, there's nothing.
no
There's
special edition
absolutely
either.
nothing for pre-ordering Cyberpunk, right?
I thought I
You're
saw
in that hype.
something. Hold on. Let me look it up because I could have swore maybe it was before like the November
Oh,
release
it
thing or
might have been
whatever.
a pre-download, maybe.
Trying to look. So for GameSpot, they released something. There's a pre-order guide. So certain retailers had certain stuff. Let me look it up here while you guys are talking. Yeah. So you pre-order it with GOG. I think it comes with this anyway, but you get like the original score, the source book, wallpapers, an art booklet, digital comic, blah blah blah, posters, additional set of stuff. But then other spot GameStop had steel books. And if you were a Power Up Rewards member, which I don't know what that means, but if you had a membership there, I guess you received $10 game coins or store credit with their purchase. If you get a Best Buy, again, more steel books, 3 different design steel books. If you order it online, you would get one at random. Like there were stuff, but there wasn't anything like super significant. That was like, oh, like, you know, Duke Nukem had the Balls of Steel edition, and it came with playing cards, poker chips, the art book, a steel book, a statue of Duke, like stuff like that. You know what I mean?
So Dominic posted a pretty good question. Why pre-order digitally?
Yeah.
Skins, in-game currency. Like,
Yeah,
does
pretty
that
well.
make it worth it?
Just that pre-download.
But on Xbox, you can pre-download
Some
without even
cases,
owning the
yeah.
game anymore.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nifty. The world we live in.
yeah.
Can't see.
It's one of those things where you can download it, and then you click it, and it says you got to own it, and it redirects you to the store. But yeah, that's a recent update.
That's cool.
I think pre-order little bonuses like skins or game currency helps.
It helps for sure, and especially on a game
Especially
like.
if it's a game.
Sorry, go Harley.
Yeah, like I know I'm gonna play.
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
knew I was gonna play the new Call of Duty, like Cold War, because I knew it was gonna integrate stuff into Warzone, which I regularly play. So I knew like
We'll probably play Warzone tonight after the pod.
Probably.
Dominic's also
Blam,
saying
blam.
Steel books are my weakness.
I love it.
Steelbooks are so
I
Steelbooks
love a
are
good steelbook.
sweet.
I love a good steelbook.
Yeah, man. I used to
Oh,
be so like for like physically owning games, but I don't know. The
I
last
was
like
thinking
3 or
about
4
getting
years, I don't care anymore. It's just I don't know. I look at the physical games I own, and a lot of them I got. Oh my god, when was the last one I got? I think Control was the last physical game I bought, and after I bought it, I was like, why did I even buy it physically? Like, with the way Xbox works, and Tony, you might as well jump in on this because you know more about it than I do. The disc doesn't totally matter anymore, right?
No.
All the disc does is verify that you own the game. So
Which
you put in the
Isn't
disc,
it
and
made?
sorry, go.
Isn't it made to download faster?
Well, what the disc does, you can install the game off the disc, but often there's a big patch anyways, so you got to download something. And in some cases, you actually have to re-download the entire game, like Cyberpunk. But otherwise, all the disc does is say, hey, yeah, you own the game, and then it doesn't spin the disc at all anymore. So that's all it does.
Like the good old days.
Yeah, it's not like the Xbox 360 and PS3 days where it's like you'd hear the disc
GameCube.
spinning. GameCube, yeah. Man, I miss
used to love all
GameCube.
that stuff.
And then if you move your console and wrecks the disc.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
I had
Oh,
Dead Rising was the first game. It wasn't
All
even me, it was
the
my brother's
inside.
friend. Totally shredded it.
Yeah,
He's like, oh, you can stay on the Xbox up when you play the games. And it's like, do you not realize the console's on? As soon as you turned it up, it's like,
no.
oh no.
I did the same
The
thing,
game
man.
still worked though.
I did the same
Game still
thing.
worked.
I think I hit my standing up 360 with a soccer ball in the basement.
No,
And
that
then-
was me.
Oh, was
I
that you?
remember me and me
Okay.
and another friend of ours, Jesse.
I remember it was me
Yeah,
and
that
you,
was
and yeah. Oh man. And we just heard like the. We all like paused for a second. We're like, oh shit. Game still works.
Something you don't want to hear.
Yeah,
It still worked though.
it was fine. We're good.
Who was it with World at War? Their disc was so scratched.
Oh, that was
up
me.
they
That was
couldn't
Tony
load
again.
them.
That was me, man. Well, we
Oh,
couldn't play Castle. Every time Castle came out, we had to back
Oh,
out,
yeah.
or my game would crash.
it was so
Vito,
scratched.
Vito.
Good times. Good times. Man, I liked Castle too. That was a bummer.
That was a
It
great
was a
map.
good, yeah,
Good
Great
map.
it's a
game.
great man.
Yeah, good game.
To
Oh, World at War.
to reiterate what Dom is saying about why pre-order digitally, do you guys remember when I think I'm the only one that really owns the game now. Maybe Harley does, I don't know. But when Deus Ex Mankind Divided was coming out, this is a terrible move on their part. I love Deus Ex and Square Enix and whoever developed it. I think it was Squaresoft, whatever. But they made a big mistake doing that global tiered pre-order thing. So you would pre-order, for those who don't know. But then the more people pre-ordered globally, you would unlock new things for your pre-order. So if you pre-order first, let's say you get the soundtrack, but then as soon as, let's say, like 10,000 or 100,000 people pre-order it, you would unlock something else. And if
So
enough people in the world pre-ordered, you'd get the game 4 days early. But that
Like
eventually got
pre-order.
shut down, and they didn't do that in the end.
it is
So
essentially Kickstarter.
yeah,
Essentially
essentially,
like stretch
Goals.
goals.
yeah. So they never finished it because it got like it got crapped on by everybody in like the news media and all that. So they eventually stopped it, but I haven't really seen something like that since, other than Kickstarter. Like that was the first time it was like an actual game studio, like through their own platform instead of like
Yeah.
a GoFundMe or a Kickstarter or whatever was doing that. Has that happened recently? Do you guys remember anything?
No.
I can't think of any instance of that happening.
That must have been a one and done where they tried it, it didn't work, and then everyone else was like, "All right, don't do that."
Oh, right. Yeah.
I mean, excellent game, but yeah, that was like Dom said, it's a cool idea on paper.
Yeah,
but I don't know if it's
exactly.
about that.
It's
but-
one of those things where it's like, wait, now you're just putting this game behind a gate for no reason. Like,
And I don't
word
know
of
if
mouth.
they ever gave everybody all the different like bonuses for pre-ordering after they shut it down. Maybe they just didn't get anything. I'd have to look it up, but I didn't pre-order that game though. I know that because I was like, this is kind of stupid. So I was like, I know I'm gonna buy it. I think I got it for my birthday that year. I was like, I'm just gonna wait to get it.
yeah, and I'm kind of bringing it back to, like, I guess just pre-orders in general. Like, that's a great segue. Like, there's no rush to buy a game right away. You know, like, you can eventually play it. You can get it for your birthday. You can buy it when it's fixed. And especially now with the way games are, where they're not ready right away. Like, it's probably smart to, like, wait to see when reviews come out, to see how the general score is, and to make sure the game actually works. Like, Master Chief Collection is another big one there, right? Where everyone, I
Oh,
forget
man.
I forget if I pre-ordered that game or not, but that game was not ready, you know. And the reviews came out, and the reviews were actually really good for it because all the reviewers were like, "Oh well, the servers aren't live, and they're gonna patch it day one, so it's all gonna be fixed." It gets 9s and 10s everywhere, and then, of course, the game didn't work when it came out. At least the multiplayer didn't, right? So, one of those things where probably safe to just wait, unless it's one of those games where, like, for Kevin, Fire Emblem, for Harley, Call of Duty, for me, Pokemon, like, there's certain games where it's like, okay, I know it's gonna work well, or at least it's gonna work well enough for me to want to play it, and it's probably gonna be pretty high quality. So I guess it's like, if a company has a good track record, then maybe do it. But I guess companies can lose that
If you're
track
like-
record.
Maybe if you're like that's your passion.
Yeah,
You love it so much.
Yeah, that's like one of your favorite franchises.
yeah.
Yeah. Like
And-
anything Star Wars related, I've pre-ordered. I think like Jedi Fallen Order, I pre-ordered. Battlefront 2, I pre-ordered. Battlefront 1, like the newer ones, I pre-ordered. Squadrons, I pre-ordered. I'm waiting for the pre-order for Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga because that's supposed to be coming out in spring, but they haven't. There's been like no real new info in a little bit, so
So is there any pre-order bonuses with that game?
I have no clue. Like I said, they haven't gone live with any pre-orders or any info on anything yet because we've only gotten like trailers for the game, and then most of them are gameplay ones. But like they haven't said anything about pre-orders yet.
So that's an interesting
It's
one.
supposed
Like
to come out
if
in
there was
October.
no pre-order bonus, you would still pre-order it digitally?
I would think so,
assume?
only because like I know, yeah, I know I'm gonna play it,
Yeah.
and I know I can. That's another thing too. I know they don't technically charge you until close to the date, but
Yeah.
in my head, it's like, well, I can afford it now, so like, why don't I just put aside like $80, and then I'll just make sure I have that $80 or whatever the game will cost, like in the future. Because I got charged for Cyberpunk back in August, but the game didn't come out till December.
Which is
Going
wild.
back to Cyberpunk. Yeah, so
That's
like I don't know
wild.
how that worked out, but
Yeah.
it was nice because like I could afford it, right? I mean, I could afford it anyway, but it's just nice to know that like I have that money now and I could put it aside for it. But again, there's no real point either because you don't get charged until what? Like it's until you can pre-download it or something, or like 2 days before, or a week before, whatever it is.
I think they can technically charge you up to 14 days before. I think that's how that works, but they often do it just a day or two before. One of those things.
Now, stupid question. So does pre-ordering, because I know when you buy a game full price, let's say, like with Cyberpunk, when you pre-order, for example, on GOG, or if you buy it on GOG, all the money goes to CD Projekt Red. But if you were to pre-order a game, would that affect anything? Like they wouldn't get that money up front, obviously, but like, does that have any external benefits for a developer pre-ordering their game?
Get the money now rather than later.
Yeah, it's
like
actually
excluding Kickstarter and all that.
yeah. I mean, just for cash flow purchases, it's huge. Like they get the money. Let's be clear, they get the money right away, from what I understand. That's how, or at least, you know what, I actually, you know what, no, I should take that back. I don't know for sure, but in my industry, if you pre-order something, I guess tickets is a pre-order. If you think about it, you're paying for something that, you know, you're going to attend later. We get that money. We get it right away. So, like, now, mind
Able
you,
to cancel
mind
tickets.
you, no, you can't cancel tickets, right? Except for this year, because obviously COVID. So that's interesting, right? So like we had to actually facilitate the refunds in that sense. So I imagine what happens is the company gets the money right away, and if there's any refunds that need to happen, basically they have to write a check to issue the refunds. Or write a check is, you're not actually writing a check. That's just the
And the transfer.
yeah, the transfer, exactly. Send the wire over. But I mean, for a developer, it's
Dom
huge.
brings
'Cause,
up a good point.
you know, sorry, go ahead, Harley.
It's numbers for shareholders.
Yeah, exactly.
That too.
It's huge. It's big that way. And like, say if like the pre-order numbers are soft, then you go okay. Then the next shareholder meetings, you go, okay, guys, temper your expectations. You know, we think it's gonna do well, but we don't think it's gonna do, you know, super well or whatever it is. Or if it's going like gangbusters, then you go, great news, guys. Look at this. This game's gonna be a big hit. You know.
We
So
just got like 1 million pre-orders.
yeah, it's big for that reason, and
And
that's
they can
it's important for game development too, because a lot of times pre-production on the sequel starts before the game even comes out. So if you can, if the game's pre-ordering really well, then you can justify spending more money on the pre-production, right? You can justify the sequel better.
Plus, then you know that your marketing team is like working, or you need to step it up or dial it back or
Yeah, exactly.
change your strategy.
It's like a big
Businesses are
it's like a temperature gauge in a lot of ways, right? You can kind of
Yeah.
see how it's going
nice.
out there. But for the consumer, like kind of like bringing it back, unless there's like a big benefit, or if it's a franchise you really love, like I don't know, pre-ordering seems kind of weird to me now. The whole concept is like, why? Unless it's something like I'm really passionate about, you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
Just wait and maybe watch like a YouTube video to see how. Like I'd rather watch a video, like if it's something new, let's say, I'd rather watch a video and see what it looks like from another player's perspective, not by their like advertisement,
Yeah.
and then see. I can then judge like, okay, so this is how it plays. Will I enjoy it? You know, do I like the setting, the characters, you know, stuff like that.
A good example.
Dom also
Sorry, go ahead.
pointed out multiplayer. Multiplayer on day one, you get a bit of an advantage. Say I bought COD like day one. I start playing multiplayer, and you wait like 2 weeks.
Oh
like,
yeah.
I have an advantage.
You're
Hey.
gonna beat me no matter what.
That's one way to
See
look at it. Yeah.
that? No, it's gonna happen, and that's
It
okay.
is what it is.
Yeah, that brings up a pretty good point.
Yeah. Yeah, for games like Call of Duty and
But I
stuff
mean,
like
for
that, for sure.
single-player games, like, you can wait.
Unless there's like
I'm waiting
story
on Baldur's
DLC or
Gate.
something, because I know
Yeah.
way before. I think I might be speaking out of term here, but when Deus Ex Human Revolution was coming, I talk about Deus Ex a lot, I realize. But when the Human Revolution was coming out, I think there was a story DLC called The Fall. I'm probably wrong, but that might have been a pre-order bonus,
Oh, that
or you would have
sucks.
gotten it for free if you would have pre-ordered it, or something
Oh,
like that.
okay. Yeah.
I can't remember, but yeah, that's I just thought of something too. So you guys have pre-ordered through like EB Games or GameStop or whatever before. So what do you guys think of putting down a deposit for a game, like $10, $20, whatever, and then waiting to pay for the full game later? Is that even still a thing? That's still a thing, right?
That's totally a thing. When I pre-ordered Pokemon, that was the last physical game I pre-ordered. I needed to pay up front for it. Up front. So.
You get the deposit. You don't get the deposit back, do you, if you cancel?
You do. Yeah, you get your deposit back. Yeah, they have to give you your deposit back if you don't get the thing. That's
Yeah, imagine.
I believe that's illegal. So.
You just steal $10.
Yeah.
You placed your order.
Sorry.
You made your decision.
GameSpot would, or GameStop,
made
sorry,
your
would totally do that. I totally would.
But is
Here's
that much
$5 for that new
different?
game that came out last month, I mean.
Is that much different mentally than just paying full price digitally for it, or do you guys feel better when you have in the past, let's say, about like you put $10 down and then you go there and it's like, oh, like now I only have to pay $70 or $60 or whatever?
To me, the concept of money is the same. It's still the same in the end. Like, my mind doesn't kind of work that way. If it's like, for example, like if something's on a payment plan for me, like whatever, say I went to the store and bought a TV and it was 5 payments of $100 or $500, to me that's still, my mind still views that as $500. Like, it doesn't change the way I think about it. So
Yeah.
the same thing with game deposits. Like, oh yeah, I have to pay less when I go there, but I already paid this much. So for me, what's nice about the digital games is that it doesn't charge you until closer to the game when the game comes out. So that's, I can kind of like
nice.
plan for the money to be there, if you know what I mean. But I mean, I don't really buy games unless I can afford them anyways.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really buy many games.
Yeah, I don't buy many games anymore either. So there's that.
I want to get into this at the end, but I got a New Year's resolution actually that pertains to that. But oh, what was I gonna say? So the last game I remember physically pre-ordering. So back when Call of Duty Infinite Warfare was coming out, that was back when the Prestige Edition, that was the only way you could get COD 4 Remastered.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I pre-ordered that $120 edition, but I traded in a bunch of games, and I think I only paid like $10 for the whole thing.
Oh wow,
So that was pretty nice to pre-order that, because I mean that wasn't even the deposit. I paid $10 for that, like the pre-order, and that was the last time I think I physically pre-ordered a game, and I felt kind of. I mean, it wasn't so bad because again, I paid $10 for like a over $100 value, but I don't know. That's ever since I've started buying games digitally, just. I don't know. I don't think about pre-ordering too much. Like, I feel like when I pre-order games digitally, I've already mentally thought like, okay, so I bought this game. It's not like I haven't been charged yet. It's like, okay, there's $80 gone. So when it comes out, it comes out. It's almost like the crock pot. You just like set it and forget it until it comes out. You know?
The crock pot.
You already put that roast inside.
That's what they should call the Xbox store, the crock pot. You open up the crock pot and you see what's cooking, and you go from there. I was gonna say like a good example for me of a game that you can like sit and wait for, and this is a game I really love, and I've talked about it a few times. DBZ Kakarot. Like, that's a game where I was totally, when I saw that game and I saw the trailers and I saw what it was gonna be, like, oh, I want to pre-order it. But to your point, Harley, it's like I kind of want to see what this game's gonna be like first, and I waited for it to come out, and I saw a couple people playing it. I'm like, I'm gonna wait for it to go on sale, and I did, and I got it on sale, and I love it. But I wouldn't have paid $80 for that game. That's another thing. There's a lot of games where they come out and they're $80 and they don't feel like you get your money's worth out of them.
Yeah.
You know, like that really sucks. Like for me, I did that with the Division 2. I fell for the hype. And
oh my god, yeah.
I paid
you got me on that hype.
Yeah, I paid $80 for that game, and
I did too.
I got into it and I was like, oh. and like that really stung. Whereas if I would have just waited a little bit, there was no benefit to me pre-ordering.
$3.
It would have been
It was on
$3.
sale for $3.
Yeah, I remember I bought it for you guys for $3 when it came out, because I'm like, oh, maybe we'll all play, because it was $3. But it's like, it's Division 2. Who cares? But
it's like C tier Ubisoft. Sorry for anyone who likes the game. It's like C tier for.
You know what? I actually think we'd have fun with it if we really dived into it. But like, I don't want to put that much effort into it.
I think last time, I think Jim was like falling asleep.
Yeah, Jim was actually sleepwalking. He was actually sleepwalking in the game, just like running against a wall as he was sleeping.
And then it's the same thing I go through with like at home. Like if I'm falling asleep, my fiance will go like, "Were you sleeping?" I wake up and go, "No, I'm here. I'm fine. No, I'm here." Oh, it's like, oh
man,
jeez. But I'd rather play Ghost Recon than like any again C tier Ubisoft stuff. Ghost Recon to me, especially, I used to play the first one and I own on PC. But Ghost Recon is like really fun, and I have more fun with that. And it's probably, it's probably not really like that much different gameplay wise than Division, or like how we interact with each other probably wouldn't be too different. But I don't know. I never really would care for the first one. And again, Dom in the chat, going back to Call of Duty, saying they sucker me into that one too. I think meaning the Call of Duty Prestige Edition. Mean Activision. Yeah, that's kind of dirty on their part. And he also says, to be fair, I love the Division games, but they don't add enough to quantify a sequel.
Yeah.
Did you guys play the first one?
It's on Game Pass, so we could.
We have too many games to play.
No one's played it
I can't afford it.
Do you guys remember people were standing in line in game to like get into the server?
I remember
find that
you'd
hilarious.
have to. People were saying how you'd have to like form a line to talk to a quest giver.
That's
because it only allowed one person to talk to it,
which is pretty good on the community.
Yeah.
That one guy jumped in front.
Oh yeah. What do?
You just grief him him hard.
That's so baffling to me. World of Warcraft figured out that in 2004. Like,
yeah.
How did they not figure this out, that more than one person needs to be able to talk to the dude? Oh, man. Dom in chat says, to be fair, I love the Division. Oh, yeah, we already went over that. But then he said, I played Division 2 with... Did you play Division 2 with me? Maybe. I don't remember. We might have. I'm sorry. I don't remember that.
Were you sleepwalking like I was?
No, I don't think so. I just only played that game a handful of times, so...
You guys don't ever do that, dude. They're going on a tangent here. Am I the only one that falls asleep when we play, where like legitimately you can tell I'm sleeping because I'm just either running against the wall or like I'm not moving?
Happened a few times with Sea of Thieves for me, I think. Just because you're on the boat and you hear the waves and
yeah,
it's 3 a.m.
The calm waves.
And you just
and you're getting chased by two pirate ships and you're just done with it. You just want it to be over.
That one player is just chasing to the end of the earth.
Yeah.
And
brutal. But on that note,
tell a childhood story here. No, hold on.
Sorry, go ahead.
I got one story because this reminds me of you. Sorry that you're hurt, Dom, by the way. But
yeah, that's my fault, man. I do not remember at all.
Tony sleepwalking. The only time I remember Tony not sleepwalking, but the only time I remember Tony falling asleep, I'm like, this. Oh my god, this had to be well over 10 years ago. Actually, yeah, like probably about 12, 13 years ago. Tony and I were on Xbox 360. And I was playing Quantum of Solace. I don't even remember what Tony was playing. But at like 4 a.m, all of a sudden Tony stopped talking. And for 2 hours, I tried to wake you up, and it did not work. And I finally gave up.
I remember that now. You told me about that.
Oh, that was the best. Okay, by the way, Quantum of Solace, underrated game. It's just a movie game, but excellent. The multiplayer in that game was severely underrated. It's just Call of Duty pretty much, but with Bond stuff.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I remember that. We played that a little bit. You played that a lot, I remember.
I had the steelbook for that game. That's got a pretty steelbook.
Dang.
That wasn't even pre-order bonus. I think it just gave it to me for free when I bought it.
It's because probably you were one of the 5 people who bought the game.
Ooh, globally.
they're like, oh shit, we have too many of these steelbooks. Just give him one. Dom, I actually don't remember us playing. I really don't remember us playing the Division 2. So I deeply apologize. But I only played that game. I probably played that game under 10 times. So, you know what?
Played it
now, I think the Division 2 came out in No, it didn't. No, it came out in 2019. Okay, so that it was after Pokemon. It was before Pokemon then. Sorry, it was before Sword and Shield. But on that note, we're gonna get into a quick question, and the chat can answer too, because we're gonna wrap up the show. What's the next game you might pre-order, if any? Jim?
I think I mentioned it before, but definitely Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga. That's a big one. And to maybe piggyback a further point, I'm still on the fence whether or not I want to just use it on Game Pass or actually pre-order it. But I might pre-order Halo Infinite to own it as well.
If Halo
I don't know
Infinite
yet.
has I'll quickly piggyback off of you and answer for me. If Halo Infinite has a really cool physical thing, I'll probably pre-order it. But otherwise, I'll just play it on Game Pass, I think. Harley, what about you?
Would take a statue for me.
Yeah, like a nice statue.
Unless it's like one of those editions where it's like $300, we only have 10 of them kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't think I could do that. But other than that, trying to think of a game and I can't.
Oh, sorry to cut you off, Harley. I just thought I might
Go ahead.
pre-order the
That was
Mass
my
Effect
very-
trilogy that's coming out. I might do that,
like
depending
the
on the legendary trilogy, whatever the hell it's
remaster?
called.
But
Yeah, I might do that too.
I guess that's a safer bet because you know it's going to be good. But
Well,
at
the
the
first
same
one
time,
anyway. I don't know about the other two.
it gets better. But
Well, I gotta get on those games. It's embarrassing.
yeah, you do. But at the same time, do you think that that might just go on sale at some point? Because it's definitely going to be full price when it comes out.
And I already own all of them physically, so it's I'd have to really see what it comes with. But yeah, but to solidify my answer, definitely Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga.
And Harley, you said you couldn't really think of one.
If the new Dragon Age game was just magically like, oh yeah, we're gonna release it this year, probably pre-order that.
Yeah.
And then Dom says Battlefield 6, because he's pre-ordered all of them since Bad Company 2.
They should just
He
make a
made it
Bad
to here
Company
at
3. That's what they
I
should
pre-ordered
do.
that game too. I pre-ordered Battlefield 5. I remember
Sweet.
that. And
Battlefield
1.
3 Reloaded.
Reloaded.
Conker's Bad Fur Day, live and reloaded.
Oh, I love that game.
That game needs a remaster, like a redo again. But like, don't censor it like they did Live and Reloaded.
Yeah.
Or
Like just
censor it further. I
a new
should say.
Conker's game where they just do literally what Bad Fur Day did. That would be perfect.
Open with a C word. Just
Yes.
hard
Oh
open.
no.
Have you guys seen the new we're gonna get slightly off topic here for 1 second, but the new thing on Netflix where I think it's the history of swear words with Nicolas Cage.
Oh, what?
No, what's
the-
the
No.
The commercial for it is just Nicolas Cage yelling the F word.
Please.
I'm already invested. Like that's all I needed. I'm gonna watch it now.
Is it narrated by Nicolas Cage?
So I think it dives into the history of like what makes the swear word a swear word, because it wasn't a swear word at one point, but it just became one. So like they go into
Oh,
like
yeah.
why it's a swear word, but like there's a lot of swearing that goes on in it, and Nicolas Cage is the host. So yeah,
What the heck?
I thought it was
Alright.
super random, but Dom in chat says it's supposed to be great. Yeah, I saw some decent reviews for it actually. Apparently it has better than it has like any right to be. So I'm looking forward to that. Kevin, for you, any other game you're gonna pre-order coming up?
It would just be Infinite. I think the only
Yeah.
games I'm really gonna get this year are the Odyssey expansion and Infinite. Other than that, nothing's really interesting to
Can
me.
you pre-order the Elite Dangerous stuff? Or is that like a free
Probably
update?
could, but I'm gonna be downloading it, so
True.
probably just buy it whenever it comes out.
And that's a perfect way to sum up the episode. Just download it. Why pre-order?
true.
But let's end the episode here. Harley, over to you for the socials.
All right, so if you want to stay up to date with Follow My Tracers, you can subscribe to us right here on YouTube. You can like us. You can also click that bell to be notified when we go live. You can also follow us on Twitter at FMT Show and on Facebook at Follow My Tracers. And for you guys, anything you want to plug? We'll start with Tony.
yeah, if you guys want to follow me over on Twitch, twitch.tv/figure09, that would be great. I stream there a few times a week. It's been a lot of World of Warcraft recently, but I might divvy it up and do some different things. But lots of WoW streams. We have a good time. And if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, it's at figure9tv, figure09tv.
All right, and Jim?
If you want to follow me on Xbox, I'm at Power Grudge, the name on the screen. If you want to buy a Figure 9 shirt, like I do, Tony's merch store, I think it's on his Twitch. It's a comfy shirt. I kind of like it. It's a nice shirt.
Yeah, I still have to see you wearing it because I have no idea what it looks like in person.
Next time I see you in person, I'm gonna wear it.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, just on Xbox, you want to follow me. I'm at Power Grudge. I'm getting the itch really hard to make music again, so I might have some music out this year. You never know.
Our theme song.
Yeah, well that too, but I'll plug that at the appropriate time.
Dun dun. Okay.
What about you, Kevin?
Anything to plug?
Yeah, I don't know. I have an Xbox account. Falling Cactus, if you want to look at it. I probably won't follow back. I don't really pay attention. Thanks for having me on, guys.
I thought I'd ask.
Yeah.
I knew that was going to be good.
I'm
Also-
I'm just a kid. My life is a nightmare.
If
I
you want to
don't know.
purchase Jane's chicken nuggets with Kevin's coupon code, Nugget.
I'll
Kevin,
give you
you,
all my
M&M
M&M
Meats.
Meats account so that I
Yeah.
can get those points, redeem them for nuggets.
I'm surprised one of your Twitch names isn't like M&M Meats or something like that.
Oh.
Or Nuggies or something
Maybe
like
that'll
that.
be the next one once I forget whatever the password is.
It's only
It's
a
not even that
matter
I
of
forget.
time.
It's because I auto
Falling
fill it,
nuggies.
and then
Oh.
it could be anything.
Oh, Tom too. If you want to follow me on Twitter at BlueGaming5, Figure is my biggest fan.
Yeah, I like all of his tweets. He's a cool guy. He's a cool guy. All right, guys.
Good.
Good episode. It was a long one. Thanks everyone for watching. And we are we are Follow My Tracers. I'm Figure 9.
We are Figure 9.
No, we're not.
We are Figure 9.
Figure 9.
No. Until next time, we are Follow My Tracers. Have a good one, everyone.
Bye.
Who's knocked?